students. Good morning all of you. So before starting, you have to follow some appropriate behavior, wear masks, follow physical distancing, maintain hand hygiene, wear mask properly, stay at least 6 feet from others, wash your hands frequently, always with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. And remember to not touch your face. Do not share your food or drinks with others. I hope you all are following these behaviors so as to protect yourself from this COVID and as well as others also. Okay. So now let us selectively choose few organisms and see how respiration happens in them. So one such organism which I have chosen is earthworm. I hope all of you know what is earthworm. It is something which is commonly seen in soil. So it is a reddish brown terrestrial invertebrate. Why invertebrate? Because it doesn't have a backbone. It cannot stand like we do. So like a snake also, they also crawl on a ground. Similarly, these creatures, they are tiny insects, so tube-like structure, reddish brown in color, and they kind of crawl on a ground. Okay, so they are earthworms. They are also known as farmer's friend. That is a more popular name for earthworm. Do you know why it is called a farmer's friend? Because they live in a soil and they improve the fertility of soil. And when the fertility is improved, the crop production improve and it helps the farmer. That is why they are called farmer's friend, because they improve soil fertility. So where do we find these earthworms? They live on the upper layer of soils, mostly on the soil. That's why I said if you pick some handful of soil from your garden also, there are good chances that you will be able to see an earthworm. They mostly eat living and dead organic matter which might be present in the soil. So that is where you see earthworm. So it lives in the soil. So how do you think respiration will happen in case of earthworm? So let's look at the respiratory system of earthworm, how exactly it happens. Now earthworm, they do not have specialized organ like in case of human being we have lungs. But they do not have any special organ for respiration. And they exchange gases through their body surface. Their body surface remain moist all the time. Why do you think so? Because they live in the soil. And soil is generally moist because it contains a lot of water. So their body surface is also moist. So it picks up oxygen from the water which is dissolved, which is present in the soil, and it is picked up from the moist soil by hemoglobin. So the same component which is present in the blood of earthworm as well. So hemoglobin will pick up the oxygen from the water which is present in the soil. Soil contains a lot of water, and that is why the plant needs soil, because plant get water and minerals from the soil. If the soil becomes too dry, in that case the earthworm will not be able to survive because they will not get enough water. So they gain oxygen through the moist soil. It will die if the soil is too dry or the soil is too wet. So in both the cases, it will die. Okay. And during such a condition, for example, have you ever noticed that you are able to see a lot of earthworm not inside the soil but outside the soil during rainy season? Why it is that? Because during rainy season the soil becomes too wet. So when it is a rainy season, the soil is too wet. So when the soil contains too much of water, that also create a problem for the earthworm, because they are not able to do proper gaseous exchange. So they cannot survive in very wet soil. So therefore they surfaced during this extreme condition when the soil is too dry or too wet, or otherwise they will live in the soil, and through their moist body surface they exchange the gases take place. Okay, because where the oxygen present. Okay. So oxygen is taken up from the moist soil which contain decent amount of water, and oxygen is present in that water in dissolved form. So this exchange This is how exchange of gases take place. So it is the presence of mucus which make the kind of moist. So that's how respiration happen in the case of earthworm. So now talk about some insect, because I told you the insects have a tracheal system, air tube through which respiration take place. That sound interesting. So let's have a look in more detail. So in case of a cockroach, you must be familiar with the cockroach. They are generally black or brown in color, and they are very commonly seen in your houses, in your neighborhood. I'm sure all of you know how a cockroach is. It is mostly seen, it lives in a damp places where there is a water. It tends to grow and live there. If you talk about its food, it's omnivorous. It eats food grains as well as cereals and other small insects. So it eats both a plant product as well as another animal. So it's like omnivores. And omnivores are those animals which eat both plant and as well as other animals. So they can actually consume any organic matter. So now how do you think how they respire? So their respiration is something different. So they have a network of trachea. Trachea is nothing but a windpipe. So it takes oxygen from the air which is present in its surrounding. So it needs trachea. So instead of having one trachea, cockroach, they have, not only cockroach, the insects, they have a network of trachea, and this network of trachea is termed as tracheal system in insects. A lot of tube, and all these tube together form a network. So network of trachea present. So let us talk about how each trachea works, or how each particular section works. So there is a different part. One important part is spiracle. Spiracle are small hole which is present on the surface of the body, small openings. Okay, it is called spiracles. So let's say this is a tube-like structure called trachea. In here it is the opening. How we have nostrils, similarly they have spiracles. So these are spiracles, and they are open to the air. So they take in air, and this air reaches the trachea. So trachea is tube-like structure that opens through the spiracles. So this is a trachea, which is a tube-like structure. So this trachea, its job is to carry oxygen from the air to other body parts. So the air which come inside the body of the cockroach through the opening spiracle, then it passes through this tube-like structure called trachea. And this trachea further divide into branches called tracheoles. Into tracheoles, and these are the places where gaseous exchange take place, because these tracheoles, they have network of fluid which flows through the body of the insects, like in case of like how we have blood cells. Okay, now the concept of is quite similar to what happens in human being. We have lungs, we also have trachea, we also have nostrils, and we have alveoli. So the way we have nostrils, they have spiracles, which is the opening. We have trachea, they also have trachea. We have bronchi, bronchioles, and alveoli, they have tracheoles. Okay, so for us, the exchange of gases take place at alveoli. For them, the exchange of gases take place at tracheoles. So these are the tracheoles. So that's how the entire process take place in cockroach. So let us now talk about plants. So we have spoken about very different animals. So what do you think can happen in plants? How do plants undergo respiration? Now plants, something that strikes in your mind immediately when you think of plants. They need sunlight, they need water. And why do they need all this? because with the help of this, plants prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis. Now for photosynthesis also, plants need sunlight, it needs water, and it also needs carbon dioxide. How do plants get carbon dioxide? How do plants undergo this exchange of gases? So if you closely look at the leaf of the plant, you will see there are tiny pores which are present on the leaves of the plant, and these pores are called stomata. So plants perform photosynthesis by which they prepare their own food. Light energy from the sun get converted into chemical energy, and then during this process food get prepared. So if you look at the leaves of the plant even more closely, what do you see? There are tiny pores, and these pores are called stomata. So some tiny pores present on the plants. Right? Now in plants, by photosynthesis they prepare their food, and that food is in the form of glucose, and it is stored in the form of starch. So all this is clear. Starch is the form in which food is stored, but plant also need energy to perform all these things. Even though plant do not move from one place to another, but to carry out photosynthesis, to carry out the life processes inside, they also need energy. So that means in plants also, the food which is prepared, that is glucose, needs to be converted into energy. So that is where the respiration comes into picture. And for respiration again, the food needs to be oxidized, and the food remain, basically it is in the simplest form, which is glucose. So glucose need to be broken down to get converted into, to produce energy, and for this process again oxygen is needed. So oxygen exchange of gases take place which produce carbon dioxide, which need to be thrown. So its exchange of gases needs to be take place in plant, just like it had happened in animals. Now there might be a question in your mind that okay, plant can undergo photosynthesis, they can prepare glucose. Now why can't glucose be utilized as it is? Why do we want to get converted into energy in the form of ATP molecule? Why do we want that conversion? I will give you a very simple example from your day-to-day life. Now, why glucose needs to be converted into an energy into ATP? This will explain that. Let us suppose that you want chocolates. So you tell your dad that, Dad, I want chocolate. Now there are two things your dad can do. One option, your dad give you chocolate. The other option is your dad give you some money. Now let us suppose that you said you need a chocolate, and your dad, instead of giving you a chocolate, he gave you some money. But what do you wanted? You wanted chocolates. So what you got? You got money. So will that money do for you? Can you eat that money? No. So what will you do with that money? You will get that money converted into a chocolate. So right now you have money. You take that money, go to a shop and give that money and buy a chocolate. So now you have the chocolates, and this is what you wanted. So now you can eat it. So exactly the same thing happen in case of plants. Now plants need energy. By photosynthesis, what plants get is glucose. So glucose is just like a money. Glucose is not energy. Blood glucose can provide energy. Glucose can be converted into energy. That is why respiration happens, so that glucose can be converted into what the plants need, because plant need energy, and energy is stored in the form of ATP molecules, which are like energy currency, like currency note. So you have 100 rupee notes that can, so you can buy a lot of things. Okay, so similarly ATP is nothing but a energy currency. So you have 20 ATP molecules. As you keep spending that energy, your number of ATP molecules keep reducing. So instead of increasing, it goes in decreasing. Okay, and so it is just like an energy currency. So breakdown of 2 take place. Food is nothing but glucose C6H12O6. When oxidized, it produces CO2 plus H2O plus energy. So this is what happened during cellular respiration in plants. So this energy is produced as a result of respiration, help to perform various activities like in case of us. So plants take in carbon dioxide for photosynthesis and give out oxygen. And in case of respiration, it is just the opposite. Plant needs oxygen for respiration and give out CO2. Okay, so the plants take in take CO2 and give out oxygen in case of photosynthesis. And plants need oxygen and give out CO2 in case of respiration. Okay. So with this, we have reached towards the end of the this chapter. So if you have any confusion in any part, you can ask me in your WhatsApp group. And we'll start our next chapter from the next video. Okay. Thank you, students.